Hey, welcome to this section of Media Growth Accelerator. This is the Academy of Client Attraction. This section is one of the best section in this program because we're going to dive into how we get clients. Not just how we get clients, but how we target the right people in the market. How we attract only the people who are ready to buy now. So we make so much money with ads. Like this is what most businesses are missing. That's the reason they run ads and they don't get results. Because most people think that it's this Andromeda Facebook ads new update, or you have to tweak some things in the Facebook platform or whatever. Like those are bullshit. Trust me. Like that doesn't work. Your magic is not in the ads. You can run ads in Google ads, Facebook ads. You can like run ads anywhere. So the platform is like it's not the algorithm, it's not a platform. What's really important is your client attraction mechanism and your client conversion mechanism. So in this module, we're going to talk about client attraction mechanism. So let's get started. Now, here's what we're going to cover in this module. One, what is the alchemy of customer attraction and why it is important? Two, the big myth and common mistakes most people make when it comes to attracting customers. In this part, we're really going to dive into how many businesses try to get customers online and why they fail again and again and again. Why they run ads, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. We're going to talk about everything. We're going to talk about why some businesses they make some money today and they don't make some money in the next couple of weeks or in the next couple of years and they end up failing. We're going to talk about the science behind attracting your potential customers to your business. Then we're going to talk about how to use natural selection to find the right customers and attract them to us. Then we're going to talk about our paid media strategy. Basically, how we run ads and how we use our ads and how we convert those traffic from. We're going to talk about how we run ads and how we convert those traffic we get from ads into qualified leads, then into clients. Now, our customer acquisition methodology. The big myth and common mistakes people make when it comes to attracting customers. Like, here's it. This is how most people view their market. Most people view their market or niche as a huge collection of people, and they believe that they are all the same and they all deserve the same amount of effort and attention when it comes to marketing and selling to them. So many people will just see their niche. They'll be like, I'm a real estate developer or I'm a marketing agency. I see businesses. I help, let's say, businesses in Nigeria get more clients online. They just be like, okay, that's what I do. Then they go to Facebook and run ads and be like, hey, if you want more customers, I can help you get more customers, blah, blah, blah. So what they are doing basically is they are marketing to the general market and trying to attract the whole market, thinking that that's how they make money. But that is the wrong way to do something, because here's what you need to understand. That you need to understand that the market, right, is huge. Still, very few people are your ideal clients. You must have heard of this, that in any given market, about 3% of people are willing to buy right now. Those are your ideal clients. Those are the people that are going to see your ads, click on your ads, and give you money. So what most people do is that they target the whole market, and their funnel or their ads bring in about 100 people, and only 3% end up buying. And that is the wrong way to do things. The right way to do things is to create a marketing system that targets just to 3% and drag those guys in and convert those 3%. Of course, no marketing system is 100% efficient that will convert the whole market. But this our system is the closest thing there is to a system like that. This is a big myth. Most people believe that you have to market to everybody in your market equally and use the same amount of effort and attention, and that is so wrong. And I talked about this earlier. Only 3% in any given market is ready to buy now. Now, the next question is, how do we know the 3% who are willing to buy now? Most people just use brute force and speak to all 100 people manually. Like they run an ad and about 100 people message them on WhatsApp. They talk to all the 100, trying to convert them to become clients. And they say something like, it's a numbers game. You have to get lots of leads and then convert. That is the wrong way to do business. Now let's talk about the alchemy of client attraction. Do you remember why people buy? If you don't know this, you need to go and watch the previous module where we talk about alchemy of client conversion, where we talk about sales and how to convert strangers or how to convert leads into clients. Now, here's what people buy. They have their current state, then they see a stimulus, which in this case is your ad. Then that your ad, the stimulus, creates an agitated current state. So in their current state, they might just be going on with their life. They have a problem, but they're not really care that much about the problem. Then they see your ad, then your ad agitates them, then they start to feel a bit restless and they want to do something. So once they want to do something, we give them an opportunity to book a call with you. So when I mean they see your ad, that is they see your ad, they see your lead magnets, they see your video and all, like they see your old marketing, whatever. So they become agitated. They want to see how you can help them. They are like in this crazy state that they are really curious about what you have and how you can help them. So they fill out our form to book a call to talk to us. So that's what they do. Then on the call, then okay, in this place you have two things. The first one is them, their agitated current situation. Then the next one is you and your call. So they come to the call with their agitated current situation. They're uncomfortable with their current situation. They know that they can do better with their life, with their business, with whatever they want to do. They want to talk to you and see how you can help them. So they come to you on the call, still really curious, still really confused. Then they talk to you on the call. On the call, you ask them questions. You ask them questions about where they are right now, what they want to go. You keep talking and having discussion on the call. Then at the end of the call, or sometimes at the middle of the call, they come to this state of their current situation and their clearly defined situation. So if you remember from the previous module, we talked about sales. The first part is asking them questions to know their current situation, then asking them questions to know their future situation, to know what they want, where they want to be in the next 6 months, how they see themselves. So that's that. Now, what we do is that we give them clarity on where they are right now and where they want to go in the future. You get? So that's what you want to do. Then you position you and your offer as the vehicle that will take them from their current state to their desired state. And here's what you need to understand. The science of customer conversion is creating separation from the agitated current state to a two clearly defined and separated state. Once you have created separation from the agitated state, you must position you as your offer as the vehicle or bridge that will bridge the gap between where they are right now and where they want to go. So this is the client conversion system. I will talk more about this in the previous module. So with this, you can convert any qualified leads. Even if they're not qualified, you can still convert them to become clients. But you want to use this wisely and only convert people that are qualified. Else, you're going to have bad customers and it's going to be bad for your business. So only sell to people who are qualified. All right. So a true masterful salesman creates separation from an agitated current state to a clearly defined future state. They then position themselves as the offer. They then position themselves and their offer. They then position themselves and their offer as the key to that desired situation. So this is a quick recap on why people buy and how to convert strangers into customers. But the question now is, how do we attract the people we convert on the phone? How do we know who is ready to buy now? And how do we know who's going to waste our time? We do this with this system, or with this idea called natural selection. Natural selection is a natural process that results in a survival and productive success of individuals or groups best adjusted to their environment. That leads to the evolution of genetic qualities best suited to that particular environment. Natural selection is simply survival of the fittest. If you don't get it fully, pause this video and read it again and again and again to really understand it. Because once you understand this, you will never see sales funnel or online marketing the same again. So you have to understand this before we move forward. Here's an example for you to really understand this. Let's look at this whole system. Let's look at the life of a bug, for example. Or a beetle. For example, some beetles are green and some are brown. That's one. Two, differential reproduction. So since the environment can't support unlimited population growth, not all individuals get to reproduce to their full potential. E.g., green beetles tend to get eaten by birds and survive to reproduce less often than brown beetles do. Two. Now, three, hereditary. The surviving brown beetles have brown babies, have brown baby beetles because this trait has genetic basis. 4. The more advantageous trait, brown coloration, which allows the beetle to have more offspring, become more common in the population. If this process continues, eventually all individuals in the population will be brown. So this is natural selection. This is an overview of natural selection and how it works. Most people are aware of natural selection in nature, but they are not aware of natural selection in business and in daily life. Example of natural selection in business. 1. Variation in traits. Some businesses are technology and internet savvy, while others reject technologies. Right now, it's about AI. Some businesses are AI savvy, while others reject AI. 2. Differential reproduction. Since the business environment, the market can't support all limited business goods, not all businesses make money to their full potential. E.g., tech rejecting or AI rejecting businesses can't serve customers as well as tech embracing businesses. So customers buy from the tech savvy ones and the others die out. So to give you context about this, normally when we are running ads before, when we newly started about like 6 years ago, it takes us about 30 days to build the funnel and launch the ad. Later, it took us about 14 days to do that. And right now, it's taking us about 7 days because we are using a lot of AI. And what my team is currently working on is to optimize the process that it takes just 48 hours to, once the client pay and gets onboarded, then to launch the ad. So it will be so crazy for our clients or our competitors rather to be competing with us when we are using AI and launching in 48 hours, while they are still struggling to launch in 14 hours. So that's that. Then let's go to number 3, which is hereditary. The surviving tech businesses will produce more profits, staffs, and customers with the tech savvy gene. 4. End results. The more advantageous trait, tech savviness, which allows the businesses to produce more profits, becomes more common in the population. If this process continues, eventually all businesses in the population will be tech savvy. And this is exactly what we are trying to do at Etinosa for African businesses. We are trying to make all our clients tech savvy, use AI, and use the best client acquisition system and the best business building system so that we can survive while other businesses fail, and we then dominate the whole African market. That's the goal of Etinosa. Now, let's talk about let's compare natural selection in nature and natural selection in business. In nature, different species must adapt to changing environment in order to survive. This is done by evolving to avoid predators and better suit habitats. Natural selection in business. In business, different species must adapt to changing environments in order to survive. This is done by evolving to better serve customers, avoiding the competition and better suiting habitats. Natural selection in nature. In nature, different species survive through 3 functions. 1. Food. Evolving to better catch food. 2. Safety. Evolving to better avoid predators. 3. Habitat. Evolving to better suit changing habitat conditions. That's natural selection in nature. Now, look at natural selection in business. In business, different species survive through 3 functions. 1. Food. Evolving to better serve customers and make money. 2. Safety. Evolving to better avoid competitors. 3. Habitat. Evolving to better suit changing market conditions. So before we continue, let me just give you this quick tip. So when you are thinking of making a business decision, like if I should invest hours in AI, if I should learn about AI, or if I should employ someone who's good at AI, or whatever regarding AI. Think about it. When it comes to food, will this new system or will this new whatever or this new tool help you better serve your customers? If it's yes, then learn it. Will this tool make you better at avoiding competitors and make you more competitive in the marketplace? If that is true, learn it. Habitat will evolve in like make you better to suit changing market conditions. If or will this tool make it better for you to suit or will this tool help you become better to suit market to suit the changing market condition? If the answer is yes, learn it. That's the reason you see things like creating a new logo, creating a new website is dumb. Like those ones does not help you serve your customers better. Does that make you more competitive with among your competitors? And it does not help you with changing market conditions. Context: for my first 4 years, 4 years of my business, our website was shit. I'm on a marketing agency and it barely affected us. Right now, look at our website. It's simple as fuck. It's just about 4 pages or 5 pages. Like most marketing agencies have like website for like more than 50 pages and so many stuff. And those things, it costs time, money, and resources to do. But does it make your does it serve your customers better? No. Does it make you better than your competitors? No. So you need to, before you make any business choices, especially when it's going to cost you resources, which is time, energy, and finances, you have to look if it fits all this. But before we get distracted, let's continue with what we're doing. Now, driving force of beetles. For beetles in nature, the first priority is to evolve to avoid birds and survive. The species will fail to evolve and will die if they could not avoid beetles, if they could not avoid birds rather. While for business, the number one driving force is to evolve to better serve the market and doing so produce more profit. The species that fail to do this are going to die. So if what you are doing is not making you serve your customers better or get you more customers so you can make more profit, you are going to die. So you have to change. Now, and this is what we call survival of the fittest. Just the way some animals die out and become extinct, that's the same way some businesses die out too and become extinct. And if you are part of extinct media, you don't want to be those kind of businesses. You might be wondering, what does this has to do with business and getting customers? This program is all about evolving. Like what we are doing here, it's not just to teach you how to get clients and all. We are trying to change the way you think about business and the way you think about life. So even after the program, you can build a business that keeps getting better and better and better. That you're not even trying to compete with your competitors. You are just doing something only you can do. Like crazy enough, right now we're not even looking at our competitors. All we are doing is trying to look at our clients and eat their problem and just keep getting better and better and better. And that's what we want you to do. Like we want you to be so much better than your competitors that your competitors cannot even like look at you, except let's say they are like 10 years ahead of you already. Then you can fight them and try to become better than them. Like that's what this program is about. Now we are evolving your work and income by teaching you my scientific way of running business and getting more customers. So yeah, and you can take a screenshot of this and really remember this because this is so important. This is very important. Now let's get back to customer attraction. How do we use natural selection to find the right customers and attract them to us? So the big problem when it comes to customer attraction is knowing how to identify the 3% of your niche market that is willing to buy right now. How do businesses use natural selection to identify the 3% who are ready to buy now? Like, how do they do that? This insight, which I'm about to teach you, is so profound that if you really understand it correctly, it's going to make you unstoppable in business. Now, let's look at this story of Steve Madden's shoe. The guy used natural selection to identify the 3% of shoe designs that customers were willing to buy. So they predicted what customers want before they even say they want it. So the design. Don't worry, let's talk about the story. I love the story so much. Now, Steve Madden's shoes had about 20 plus shoe designs, and they couldn't afford to manufacture large supplies of all of them and put them in department stores because many stores were not willing to stock 20 plus different shoe design since retail space are limited and precious. Now, how could Steve Madden shoes predict what shoes would be liked by their niche or market ahead of time? How could they identify the 3% of shoe designs that their niche market was ready to buy now? Steve Madden Shoes set up 3 display stores in popular locations like New York, LA, and then stocked them with about 20 shoe and stocked them all with 20 shoe designs. But they only stocked the stores with 1 pair of shoes per design, so they had no additional size and no additional stock or inventory. What they did was pure genius. They set up the store to test what shoe designs their niche market were ready to buy now. People who would say they wanted to buy a pair of shoes and they would mark people would say they wanted to buy a pair of shoes and they would mark that design with 1 point and apologize to the customers because they couldn't sell it to them, but they could do a back order. At the end of their testing period, which was about 2 weeks, they knew which shoes their niche market was ready to buy now and which shoes were a total failure. They let natural selection do the work for them, so they could identify the 3% of shoes that their niche market were ready to buy now. Not only that, they knew the 3% of the sizes too. And as soon as they knew what shoe designs and sizes were hot, they started manufacturing those specific ones in bulk and then provided them to the department stores to stock on their shelves for distribution. The shoe designs were the hottest selling shoes in all of the department stores and they sold like hotcakes. Steve Madden shoes sell 200 million shoes a year and makes 1.4 billion per year with this system. Now, that's the power of natural selection. Same thing in nature. Natural selection in nature. Lions solve the client attraction problem by stimulating the market and watching the 3% identify themselves. Once they know who the 3% are, they move on with conviction. This is survival of the fittest. Only the strongest to survive. So what lions do is that when they don't just when they go to, let's say they see a lot of deers, they don't just pick anyone and start chasing. That's not what they do. First of all, they go slowly. When they are close to the animals, to the deer or whatever their prey, they kind of make themselves they kind of shoot themselves and try to scare the deer. Then the deer or the prey scatter around, and the lion look at the one that is, let's say, running slowest, or that's closest to him or closest to her, or let's say its leg is broken or something that has some kind of dysfunction that will be the easiest to target. Then the lion chase that and target that. So that's what the lion do, and that's exactly what this Steve Madden shoe did as well. So they solve the client attraction problem by stimulating the market and watching the 3% identify themselves. Once they know what the 3% are, they move on with conviction. This is also survival of the fittest. Only the strong survive. So only the strong designs survive in this context. Now, so when it comes to client attraction for your business, how do you use natural selection to identify the 3% of your niche market? How do you know people who are ready to buy now? So when it comes to customer attraction for your business, how do you use natural selection to identify the 3% and identify who are willing to buy now? Now, let's look at this. One, you must have a specific niche market selected in order to target them. That's the reason I've preached this over and over again, that you should have a specific niche, a specific market. You cannot sell to everybody. If you are selling to everybody, you are selling to nobody. Like, you cannot target everybody. You have to have your own niche and your own market. So that's the first one. The second one is that you must do some research to understand your market's problem, pain, desires beforehand, and hypothesize about what you think will happen when you apply your niche offer results formula. Now, this is really important. Like, that's the reason once we start building out your whole sales system, your whole sales funnel and all this stuff, the first part is market research. Like, I really go in details on how to do market research and really make it so simple for you. You don't have to stress yourself for anything at all. You're using AI for all the market research, and the result is powerful. Like, within 30 minutes, you can do what usually takes our team then almost a week to do. So this is brilliant, and it's going to save you so much time and make you so much money. So that's number two. Number three is that you must stimulate your niche market with a piece of stimulus designed to appeal to their problems, pain, and desire, and solicit a response. When you do this, your niche market should fragment and should be able to identify the 3% of people who are ready to buy now. Number four is that when you identify the 3% of your niche markets who are ready to buy now, you must strike immediately with conviction and convert them into paying clients. You should forget about the rest of the market. The truth is that only 3% of your niche markets will be ready to evolve at this current moment in time by purchasing your service or product. And of course, there are going to be some people who are not among that 3% who are going to enter your wholesale system or whatever. And that's where your email marketing and that's where your content is coming to convert those other guys into the 3% and then sell them. We'll talk about that the further in the further module of this program. So instead of trying to fight nature, we go with it and use it as a tool to our advantage. What I see some people do is that they hear the idea of the larger markets formula, tries to sell everybody in the market. That is just dumb. Most people are not ready to buy now. If you are trying to sell to all of them, you are selling to nobody. So you want to sell to the specific people who are ready to buy now. Then you can create content or do email marketing or whatever for the other percentage of the market. All right. So let's continue. Now, while other people use brute force to identify clients in their niche market, we use the fundamental driving force behind evolution and nature. Let's talk about our client acquisition methodology. It's this simple. First of all, we use paid media, which is ads. We then give them our SVC, or you can say lead magnet. Then we give them our value video, or you can say VSL, video sales letter. Then they fill out a survey, they book a call, and of course, we talk to them on the call and convert them to become clients. This is how it works. So the paid ads, we're going to talk about that in the next section of this training. This whole section is focused on we have already talked about the call, how to do the call in the previous section. This section is focused on the SVC, the value video, and the survey. So the next section is going to talk about the paid media. Now, what makes a good stimulus? Because I've said this over and over again, stimulus. But what does this even mean? Like, how do you create a good stimulus? Now, when creating a powerful stimulus, that is your SVC, you want to focus on a thing that solves a specific problem for your ideal customer. Ideally, something that solves step 2 of a 5-step process. Now, you really need to understand this. So when I say SVC, you can think of a lead magnet. They are very similar. Or for simplicity, let's just say lead magnets and SVC are the same. And if you don't know what lead magnet is, it's basically something you give away for free or for a very affordable price to people so that they will learn more about what you do and know that you understand what you are doing, because people are way more likely to learn from you than to buy from you. When you give them something free, they see what you are doing, they'll be like, oh shit, this guy knows what he or she is doing. And at the same time, they kind of like you because you have helped them solve a problem, and they would sometimes want to pay you back. Let's say by talking to you or by trying to work with you. So that's what lead magnet or SVC does. But the other thing where we take it a step further is to solve step 2 of step 5. Now, here's the thing. We want to solve step 2 of step 5 so that it is only relevant to people who are already in their journey and not just newbies. So for example, now let's say I want to sell okay, context. We have a client like I think a couple weeks ago or something. She owns a travel agency, and we're trying to create an SVC for her. We are thinking how are we going to create an SVC for her. Which kind of SVC are we going to do? We're just thinking of ideas. So we're like, how to get your let's say Canada or your Canadian visa, or how to get your visa in, let's say, 6 months, or the best travel routes, or the best, or the top five travel routes to, or the first, your top five travel routes. We were thinking about ideas like that. Then we were just thinking, then we come up with an idea, and I was like, those lead magnets are bad, because when we want ads to those lead magnets, many people who want to Japan, who sometimes are broke, or let's say they are looking to Japan in the next 6 months to 1 year, those guys are going to want to download our lead magnets. And those are not the guys we want. We want people who want to talk to our clients and pay in the next like 48 hours, in the next 3 days, in the next 1 week. So we're thinking about how we're going to do that. Then we come up with this idea of focusing on step two of a 5-step process, instead of focusing on the whole 5-step process, or focusing on step one of step five. Let me explain. So focusing on the whole 5-step process is something like how to Japa, or the first or the best five how to Japa. That's one, anybody, any newbie is going to want something like that. But when we do something like the 7 visa mistake people make when they are going to, let's say, the embassy or something, or the 7 things you must do in NET before um your visa review or whatever. So that kind of stuff, it's only relevant to people who are already in the process of doing their visa, or who are about to start it, like it's an urgent problem. So those kind of lead magnets target better clients and better prospects. So those are already the people who are already in their journey. So that's the kind of lead magnets we want to create to get the best type of clients. And also too, Sha, we create an AI prompt for all this. So it's so easy. You don't have to think about it on, you have to think about the kind of lead magnet to create and things like that. It's dead simple for you now. So don't stress yourself too much about all of this, okay? Now let's introduce you to our client attraction method. We use paid media, that is Facebook, Instagram, Google, and YouTube ads. We will cover each one in details in the next few modules. So when it comes to attracting clients, nothing is as powerful as natural selection. This is the best way we have found to run ads today, and in the next couple of days have them paying you money. Like your random stranger telling you shut up and take my money. It can be as low as 150k to as high as 5, 10, 20 million. Okay, so this system works. Now thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next video right now.